Hey everybody, welcome back to Let's Play Persona 4. Last time, we determined that there is another killer besides Namatame. And now we're listening to Namatame's story, so that we may get some insight as to who the actual killer is.
And not just that. It happened in my hometown.
Namatame is casting his eyes downward painfully.
I was dumbstruck. But later on, I remember the image of Mayumi I'd seen that night. Was it not a dream? Could it really have been an SOS from Mayumi? I hadn't touched another TV because the first time was so terrifying, but I decided to try it again. And I confirmed that none of it was a dream. So that image, was it something Mayumi showed me, calling for help? That's how I felt.
And eventually, you learned of the Midnight Channel.
I remember that when Mayumi was alive, she was chasing a rumor about some bizarre TV program. I'd heard about it before, but I thought it was just an urban legend. But then Mayumi appeared on it, and later turned up dead. The more I thought about it, the harder it became to believe that the two events were unrelated. Soon after that, I came back to Inaba to answer the police's questions. I'd lost my job, and I wanted to know the truth of Mayumi's death for myself. Then, on another rainy night, someone else appeared on the Midnight Channel. It was a girl. She looked like she was calling for help, just like Mayumi. The first thing that came into my mind was, maybe this girl will be the next to die.
And that was Saki-senpai.
I'd been following all the news about Mayumi, so I noticed right away that she was the girl who found Mayumi's body. And if my hunch was right, she'd be the next victim. I didn't want her to die the way Mayumi did, so I desperately kept watching. I was consumed with the idea of rescuing her. Then, little by little, her image on the screen came into sharper focus.
It became sharper?
How did you find out it was her?
Remember that line later, that Namatame said the image became sharper, meaning more visible, more clear. That actually has some serious relevance a little bit later on.
After I came back, my father couldn't bear to see me in such low spirits, and gave me a job at the family business. I met that girl when I delivered a package to the liquor store. After agonizing over it, I decided to meet her, and told her to be careful. But that same night, on the TV, she looked as if she was being engulfed by some black shape. She was writhing in pain. That's why I warned her. Why won't she pick up the phone? Come on! Please! The next day, they found her dead. I knew she was going to be murdered, but I couldn't save her. I blamed myself, thinking there must have been something I could have done. There was no one who depended on me. Nobody at work, not even my wife. Mayumi was the only one who accepted me for who I was. But she was murdered, and the same person killed another girl. I was beside myself. I couldn't forgive myself for doing nothing.
You really did love Miss Yamano.
Yes, from the bottom of my heart.
Aww.
Before I was married, my wife made it big in show business. I was happy for her, but it put a strain on our relationship.
I think I can kind of relate.
It was around that time when I met Mayumi. She was interviewing our candidate for the next election. She was a big-name announcer, but she only worked with local stations, and her attitude towards work was similar to mine. We both came from Inaba, so she was easy to talk to. I knew it was wrong, but I couldn't help getting intimate with her. She gave meaning to my life. Soon after Saki-san was found dead, yet another girl appeared on TV. That was you.
Yukiko.
She'll be kidnapped next, and murdered. I can't let her end up like Mayumi and that other girl. This time, I'm gonna do something. My opponent was a murderer who left no clues to his identity. I thought hard about what I could do to protect her from someone like that. I'll never convince her. If she gets suspicious and they arrest me, we'll save her then. The girl inside the TV looked as if she was smiling at me. And that's when it hit me. I apparently had the power to go through the TV screen to the other side. Then, what if I put her into the TV and give her shelter there before the killer gets her? What are you trying to tell me? That it's safe over there? Is that it? The girl inside the TV seemed to smile at me again. And I thought, no matter what kind of place it might be, it's better than being slaughtered. Once things calmed down, I could just let her out again. If she's inside the TV, there's no way they can find her. It felt as if everything was starting to come together in my mind. Could it be that Mayumi gave me that power to prevent any more victims from meeting her fate? Was it my mission to save people? But there was a big problem. If I explained the situation to the victim, they wouldn't understand. I had already tried that and failed miserably. It seemed the only thing I could do was to take them away. If that was my mission, I'd just have to do it. Or so I thought. Mayumi, please lend me your strength.
And so Namatame began his mission to save people.
So, since you thought people who appeared on the Midnight Channel would be killed, you kidnapped us in order to save us. Mission? Give me a break! You never stopped and wondered about any of this?
I thought I was the only one who could help them. I did call the police, but they didn't believe me.
What a surprise.
I knew the area well. Thanks to my job, I had a large truck, and I could move around without suspicion. I thought my job as a delivery man would be the perfect cover for my mission. I thought no one else could do it. But, are you telling me that I wasn't saving them?
If a person is still within the TV world when the fog appears here, they will die. Beginning with Yukiko-san, the people you thought you had been saving were, in fact, in mortal peril. It was my friends here who really saved us all.
I have a feeling that was it. When I went after that little girl and entered the TV myself, for the first time, I had some doubts about myself.
You refer to Nanako-chan, correct?
The police were after me, so I had to get away. But I still felt I needed to do everything I could to save that poor little girl. That's why I went in after her. But the TV world was completely different than I imagined. Such an abominable, grotesque place. I knew that the three of you who I saved went back to your normal lives, so I didn't realize how terrible that world was. I never knew You couldn't even get out of that place on your own. I thought I was going insane. I probably did. And you know the rest. When I came to, I was lying in a hospital bed.
You really were trying to save people.
But I ended up doing just the opposite. What a fool. I always wanted to enter the world of politics and become useful to society. But after losing my job and the woman I loved, all I had left was this power. I convinced myself that world was some sort of sanctuary, and I secretly believed myself to be a hero.
Poor Namatame. You know, all he had were good intentions for those that he threw into the TV. He had no idea that actually throwing them in there could kill them.
I never doubted what I saw on TV, and believed everything was as I wanted it to be. I didn't think for myself at all. That's why I couldn't protect them. I'm to blame for all of this.
What's done is done, Namatame.
I suppose so. The things I've done are too serious to be brushed aside like that. I have no intentions of running away from my crimes. I'm prepared to face the consequences. Kidnapping is already a serious crime, and on top of that, I put all those lives in danger. I'm sorry.
The Midnight Channel and the other world, you can hardly be blamed for failing to understand them properly. We must apologize to you as well. Had we let our emotions blind us to the truth, we would have piled all the responsibility on you.
I guess from your point of view, people did stop dying once you started saving people. The more you did it, the more you really believed you were preventing their deaths.
I'm such a joke. I'm sorry. I'm getting a little tired. What are you all crammed in here for?
My apologies. We'll be leaving now.
Huh.
Wait. I beg you, please, find whoever's behind this. You children are the only ones who know about that world.
That's our plan, man. We got this.
It's all clear now. He never committed any murders. It was another party who threw the first two victims into the TV.
You've taken another step toward the truth. Indeed we have, and quite a big step. Namatame is totally innocent. Well, you know, besides the multiple kidnappings. Yeah, you know, besides that.
Now get out of here! I told you, he's almost ready to be transported. We can't have anything else happen. Sheesh, I better not see you rascals here again.
Are you done? Punks! Mr. Satan, martial arts champion of the world!
Nanako-chan looks like she's in pain. She's fighting for dear life. This was the last place we saw Teddy, right? He was so worried about her.
How can he flake out like this when we have to find the real killer?
The police consider the matter closed. We'll have to do all the investigation from here on out. Let's revisit Saki-san and Miss Yamano's incidents and see if we can turn up fresh details. But it's been over 6 months. Wouldn't the trail be cold by now?
I know, but we can't give up. We're the only ones who understand what's really going on. And you never know. People might remember some things now because they've had so much time to think about it. Let's split up and talk to people all over town tomorrow. We'll meet up in the evening to discuss our findings.
I hope we can find out something about Teddy, too.
Tomorrow, you'll be going all out to talk to people in town. Will this finally help uncover the information that will lead you to the true culprit? You decide to go home early today and get some rest. And with that, I'll see you guys next time for more Persona 4, when we do the final investigation of the game. So long.